It's very American, isn't it? That. I love it. Right. Oh, can I make it large? This is the bit that always throws me off. God. Right. I'm so bad with technology. I feel like anyone that's got like a job in the corporate world has definitely got an advantage over me here. Right, now I need to unshare my screen, which I still cannot work out how to do. Oh my God, all the buttons vanish. Right. Stop sharing. Oh my God. Honestly, I could be a great fitness coach, but technology. Thomas, he's eating his dinner. I had to park my dinner. I've not even had a chance to eat. How the bloody hell do I get my slides big? If I move that, will the whole screen move? There you go. Ah, gotcha. Gotcha.
Taking me away from my dinner.
It's just another day in the life of Ash. So what I want to talk about is building a strong foundation, which is all to do with the mindset of success. Like your mind is a really, bless you, Sharon, is a really powerful tool. I saw that at the corner of my screen. So it's basically your mind is a muscle that's going to drive your physical transformation, because there are going to be tough days. There are going to be tough weeks. There are going to be points where you really want to hit that fuck it button. And it's really important to keep your mindset in the right place. So basically, the mindset refers to the established set of attitudes held by an individual. It's the beliefs and perceptions around you and your abilities. And the attitudes that you personally have significantly influence how you think, how you feel, and how you behave in various different situations, and especially when you're faced with challenges and opportunities for growth. And what I want you guys to consider here is, like, depending on where you're at with your fitness journey and your health journey, some of you have got, do you know what I mean? We might be unwinding years worth of the habits that you've created or the position that you find yourself in. So what you have to consider is that like it can take time. It can take time for us to unwind those habits and to rebuild and to stack. So some people send me messages and they're apologizing like 3 days in, going, oh my God, I've done this wrong. And I'm like, you're 3 days in, man. Or I've done this really well, but I haven't yet succeeded on this. And it's like it's okay. Do you know what I mean? It can take a little bit of time. So what we want to do is get our minds into the right space, but also remember to be kind to yourselves. And this is where that power of community is really helpful. So we've got two types of mindsets. And I actually learned the other day that you basically can't have anxiety and growth running at the same time. And I didn't know that. Like, and there are times we're all anxious at times, aren't we? And I'm sure you guys will know exactly what I'm referring to. It could be job stress, relationship stress, fitness stress, like it could be anything. But in those moments, you have to pocket them as much as you can, because you can't have that growth, positive move towards mindset running at the same time as being in a really negative place. But a fixed mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence are static and unchangeable. It's almost that view of, this is happening to me and woe is me. I can't do anything about my situation. I am exactly where I am. If I'm set up to fail, so be it. You're going to give up if you're faced with obstacles. You're not going to take on feedback. You're not going to try and grow, and you're just going to stay in that exact same place. And one of the things I make really, really fucking crystal clear, and I learned this through the process, every single time I talk to any single one of you guys coming in on this journey, I actually directly say to you that I am not looking for anyone who's lazy. I'm not looking for anyone who is unwilling to change. I'm not looking for anyone who is not prepared to accept that this is going to be hard work. It's going to take that growth. And I really try and establish that on the way in. Unfortunately, sometimes people slip through the net. It still happens but what I want you to think about is that real growth mindset, that it's the belief of abilities and intelligence that you can develop through dedication, hard work, and continuous learning. So you want to see challenges as opportunities. It's all about reconfiguring how your brain thinks. It's about being solutions oriented. And you will find yourself doing this at times. Like to be in business, I've read an enormous amount of mindset growth books. I've listened to hours, hundreds of hours of worth of podcasts, and these things are really, really good to kind of when your day starts to go wrong. It's a bit like when you're running late, isn't it? And then the traffic lights are always against you. Then little old Deirdre wants to cross the fucking road and she's taking 5 hours, and then you're getting really like in a tizzy and you're making bad decisions, and really you might get to the destination 2 minutes later, but nothing, do you know what I mean? Nothing really happens. So it's that kind of, you are attracting into your world what you are putting out as a vision. And if your mind is fixated on why you can't change, why the scales are not dropping for you, why you can't hit 10,000 steps a day, why all of these reasons why you can't, you've really got to drill into that, and you've really got to start thinking about this. And if you're having a really shitty day, it's also about considering, okay, can I change it? Can I sit in this shitty mood for 1 hour and park it? Or do I have to sit in it for half a day? Does that, if I hit the fuck it button or eat a cupcake at 9 o'clock in the morning, do I have to then go, fuck it? I'm going to have a chippy for lunch and then a takeaway for dinner, and then I'm going to drive by McDonald's. It's that kind of learning to go, no, okay, that's the old me. The old me would have just gone into fuck it mode, thrown the baby out with the bathwater, and just literally just 0 to 100, fuck it. Whereas actually just park it and learn to move forward and go, no, okay, you know what? No, I'm in growth phase. I'm in a growth mindset. That's happened. I'm not going to be able to undo that. I can't reverse time, but I can now think about how I move forward with my day. It doesn't have to, one shit day doesn't have to move into two, and then it turns into a week, and then it turns into a month. And again, this is where if this happens and you do face the setbacks, or you are feeling really low, or you're noticing yourself sliding into that, reach out to the community. I can guarantee you, if you share that vulnerability with all of the other ladies in the group, they will be able to make you feel better. And this is what the whole piece is about, is being there for one another. And we'll all have stories to share where the day just doesn't go to plan, or the week hasn't gone to plan, or you go on holiday, or you might feel like, so Sharon just celebrated her 15th wedding anniversary, come back a few pounds feeling like, oh God, shit. But then she did that a few weeks ago, and now she knows, no, you know what, I can get that back. And that's the growth mindset. The first time she went into panic mode. Second time, she's like, no, no, I've got this. I understand now. It's just water weight, and that's not the enemy. It's okay. So we want to seek out that feedback. We want to seek out help from one another, learn and inspire each other through the process. So we're really aiming towards doing that. So the fixed mindset is, I cannot do this. Whereas the growth mindset is, I can't do this yet, but I want to understand and learn. You've come into this process to grow as people. And I want you all to be able to leave this process with a real fucking mindset of steel, where you can really develop even as a person in yourself. Because the more positivity, the more of these things you put out to the universe, the more you can expect back. So that's what we really want to be working on. SMART goals is another way to try and stay on track. So if you have that moment, that day of going, fuck it, I ate the cupcake, but you know, over the next 12 weeks, this is your plan, this is what you're trying to get to, the next 6 months is going to look like this. And we start with the year and work it back. So we break them into chunkable phases. So what I want you to think about is setting those SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So the specific, clearly defining what you want to achieve. Then measurable is tracking your progress. It's got to be realistic. So nobody's saying, I want to drop 2 stone in 2 weeks. Never going to fucking happen. That's why this is a longer term coaching process, because it has to be achievable. It's got to be aligned with your values. Again, that's coming back to the mindset. If you're the kind of person that's not aligning with this, it's never going to work. You're not going to see the results. So shift that mindset towards what you can achieve and set that deadline. So an example goal that will be quite in line with a lot of you ladies, I will drop 20, hang on, I'm losing my bloody voice. I will drop 12 pounds of body fat in the next 12 weeks by tracking my nutrition in the Kahunas app, sticking to the calories that my coach has set me, and I will weigh in every single week and complete my check-in and track my progress photos religiously. So what are we looking to do? Drop the 12 pounds of body fat in the next 12 weeks. Is it realistic? Yes, it is. Have I set you those like realistic targets and told you how many macros to be achieving in your apps? Yes, I have. So we can track that. And that's where when you do it, I can go into that and you do your check-ins and I can give you that feedback. So we're in the growth mindset. So like I spoke to a lady earlier who God bless her soul, I love her dearly, but she tracked 20 grams of a chicken skewer. And I was like, that 20 grams of a chicken skewer is about this much chicken. I was like, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume you didn't have one tiny piece of chicken. She was like, no, I didn't. And I thought, that's it. So it's just about, but if you track that, I can feed that back to you. And then you can learn and grow and get educated. Those check-ins are so fucking important. Like, I really want to stress that. Now, I think every single one of you, actually, some of you are brand new, so you won't have done one yet. So for clarification, you get all day Thursday and up to 9 a.m. on Friday to do that check-in. And it's going back over the last week. What have you done well? I want to see those wins. And it doesn't matter how small the win is. I want to see what you guys are celebrating. What do you need support with? Is it that time of the month? Is that throwing anything out? Like how's your sleep? How's your stress? I want to see your weight. I want to see your photos, because this is how we are tracking the progress throughout the coming months. And it is so important for you guys to do that. And I delve into that data. The more you give me, the more feedback you can receive. If you're going really light and airy fairy, it's harder for me to delve in. So really try and think about that when you're doing your check-ins, because looking back over those when you're coming out the other side, it's the most magical, magnificent thing you can ever imagine. Like, some of you guys are literally like 3-4 weeks, 2 weeks into this, and you're already seeing epic changes. Imagine that in months to come. That's why it's so important. These ladies did exactly that. Most of them are still in the coaching program as well. They did exactly that. They set the goal, they did the fucking work, and they're coming out the other end with some of their results, and still some way to go for some of them. But you can see already the changes. Sharon, you've made the slides. You can see the changes that are incredible. Some of these ladies as well, like, they haven't even been in it that long. Do you know what I mean? So it goes to show, if you do the work, the results are out there. And if you ever feel like you're hitting a brick wall or something's not right, fucking reach out to me, guys. The people who do the best in this journey stay close to the fire. That is why you are paying for a coach. Make use of me. Do you know what I mean? I'm there to be not taken advantage of. That doesn't sound great, but make use of me. So, motivation, it's going to come and go. It is more about the discipline and it's habit stacking. That's what is actually going to create the momentum to get you to the discipline. But we can't rely on the motivation. So I really need you guys to celebrate the small victories along the way. It may well be that you notice you're getting stronger. It may well be that a pair of jeans are fitting. Like, you'll have seen some of them go around the group chat today. Now, you can share openly or you can just share with me in your check-in. I'm good either way, but it's just reminding yourselves the scales aren't going to drop every week. You're going to have a fucking period in there thrown in for good measure, probably every single goddamn month. If you're not, we're working on getting those periods back, because I know that's a goal for some of the women. But this is it. It's your results are going to be thrown out 1 week in every single month. So what are the other things that are not just attached to scale weight that you can actually see in yourself? And it might be a mindset thing that previously you would have thought this and now you think that. But it's those compounding of small baby steps that are going to lead to those giant leaps across the way. Do not aim for 100% success. I try and make this really clear as often as I can, because that leads to the feeling of failure. If you literally, right, I'm going to hit my macros every single day. I'm going to hit my training perfectly every single day. I'm going to hit PRs every single time I go to the gym. I'm going to hit 10,000 steps every single day. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do... Things happen. This is real life, guys. We're not robots. So just remember that and accept that sometimes we can only control the controllables, and we're not aiming for that perfection. We just aim for the best we can do and to keep getting that bit better every single day and every single week. Visualize your success. Genuinely sit and just sit for a few minutes at the end of this Zoom and genuinely visualize where you want to be in 6 months' time. Where do you want to be starting 2025? Like, take a moment to really sit and think, what does that look like for me? And how do I want to feel? How do I want to think? I'll have done this activity with all of you guys on the call on your way in, but it's just worth refreshing that in your minds and thinking, yeah, I'm a fucking bad bitch and I can do this. Like, I can do this. I've got access to the tools. Now I just need to do the work to make it happen. I've kind of talked about check-in, so I'm not going to labor the point. But plan for potential setbacks as well. Consider, right, okay, I've got I don't know, somebody's 30th or 40th birthday coming up in 3 weeks, or I'm going to a festival, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that, or like genuinely plan them in. And again, reach out to me. If you're thinking this is going to derail me a little bit and I need to take 24 hours out of tracking or doing this, doing that, that's fine. Message me, we can plan for it. Or I'll tell you not to stress and we'll just plan a refeed day in that. So it's all good. Do you know what I mean? Again, we're not aiming for that perfection. Lean into me and your community of badass women. I have to say, I am so proud of the community and all of you ladies. I really, truly am. I just think best ever. So I want you guys, action plan. Off the back of this call, I do want you to take a minute. I want you to take a minute and genuinely sit and think about where you want to be for 2025 and just play it out in your mind. How are you moving your body? What does it look like? How do you feel? And genuinely just take a moment to just be present in that moment of thought for the future. I also want you guys to set your SMART goals. I want you to think of those specific, SMART, measurable, all of that, and send it to me. But also identify underneath. So I want you to write it out on a sheet of paper, and I want you to keep that so we can look back on it and go, fuck yeah, it's going to happen. We're going to make it happen. So write them down, send them to me, and then identify at the bottom any obstacles that you might have coming up so that we can plan ahead for them. And then practice that visualization and the positive affirmations, like you are strong, you are beautiful, you are great, all of these things, you're successful, even if you're having a shit day. What are you really good at? Like, are you a high flyer in your career? Are you a fucking powerful mom? What are the other things that you're great at? Because it's not just this is just a part of the lifestyle that you're trying to create. So we're going to open the floor to any questions, and then feel free, like I say, if you've got any goals, any challenges, if you want to ask any questions about what we just covered, or anything in general. So, right, unmute yourselves for whoever wishes to ask, or let me know and I'll unmute you. Actually, should I just unmute you? No, I'll keep you mute. Let me know. Does anyone have any questions? Just raise your hand and then I'll unmute you. Right. Oh, hang on, Vic. Oh, fuck, I just muted you again. Right.
Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not more of a question. Oh, I might have to message you actually.
Why?
Because I can't really say anything because I've got the children around. It'll make more sense if I message. We've got a surprise coming up, you see.
All right, put it in the chat. Write it in the chat. I
Yeah,
can go to
okay.
someone else. There's a chat box. I don't know
Okay.
how to get that up. Let me close my slides. Let me stop sharing my screen. Stop sharing. Put it in the chat.
You're not asking me. Asking me how do I do that?
So there should be a chat.
Oh, chat. Got it.
Yeah. So just type it in and I'll answer it. And then, I mean, obviously I'll be on loud, so you might have to mute me while I say it and then you can listen back. I don't know.
So, I popped that in. So the first.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm with
overnight.
you. Yeah. So can everyone see that, by the way, in the chat box? You can all see it, so you know what we're talking about. For those who can't, it's basically an occasion coming up. Now, I would say, when is it? In a couple of weeks, at the weekend? Yeah. Which one? Couple of. Yeah, cool. So what I would say is we will just plan a refeed day around those events. Yeah. So what a refeed day is, basically, you don't want to stay in a calorie deficit for the next forever. We want to deliberately spike your calories up every now and again. So every couple of weeks, we'll spike them back up. Now, some of you will never get to this from me because you'll go, oh, I went out for dinner, or I've got this, and I know you've done it anyway. But some of you who are super strict, stay on plan, never go off, and I will be telling you, right, okay, I'm going to instruct a refeed day here. So that's what we'll do around that, Vic. We'll just plan it so that you can have a 2-day diet break, come back up to maintenance. And your goal will just be to, again, try and think like fats, carbs, protein, and just trying to add your food. And again, by that point as well, like you'll have been doing this for a little bit of time. So you'll have some idea of calories. But also, if you want, like, do you know what I mean? Naughty foods. There's no such thing as naughty food, but do you know, I don't want to say names in case your kids are in the background, but do you know what I mean? Like a burger or something like that.
Yeah.
Have the goddamn burger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My language as well if there's kids around.
Oh, it's all right. They're worse from me.
Yeah, you're worse than me. Yeah. Does that help? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I was feeling a little bit guilty, and thinking that I don't really know how I'm going to get around it, because the first day, obviously, I can take
plan.
things. Plan. Yeah. The second day is a bit. Just
enjoy it. Enjoy
yeah,
it.
I'm just gonna have
It's
to
not
go
every
in.
day, is it? It's not every day. Enjoy
No.
the cues as well. We went a while ago and I was like, this is not
Oh,
the time. Get your
yeah.
things, get them for there.
I was just going to say, Ash, I've been all over, haven't I? I've been to New York, I've been on girls' weekends away, all sorts, and it's a long-term thing, isn't it? So it's just, you've got to enjoy the enjoyable times and not overthink it and then just get
Yeah, I think I'm a bit worried about next week as well, because obviously I start my new job on Monday, and obviously I've not got all. I'm at home at the moment, aren't I? All the time. So anything that I want health-wise, I can just go and pick it out my fridge or out my cupboards or whatever. Whereas I'm not going to be able to do that at work. So
planning is going to be key for you to think, right, meal prep, planning, when can I do that? When can I grab an hour where I can actually just batch everything up, get it ready for the week, and just. But are you working shifts, or is it more like 9 to 5 for the sake of
9 to 5, Monday to Friday?
So it's still a lot more glory. Like there's shift workers in it. There's like surgeons in it. Do you know what I mean? That are on call for 24-hour windows, 4 days a week in window. Like they do have more of an uphill battle when you're working 9 to 5. Obviously, I know you're a mum, but at least the kids are off at the moment. So you've kind of, do you know what I mean? You're not on the school run on top of trying to start a new job. On top of, and practice a lot of gratitude as well. I know when you came in, you were really worried about thinking, oh my God, like I might be losing my job. And well, you were losing your job, and now you've got the job. So it's like, it's just going to be a transition phase, and it might take a couple of weeks to figure it out, but that's okay. You've got me to lean on and figure it out.
Thank you. I think I'm just kind of in the mindset about it that it is what it is, and that first week, if I can't go to the gym, I'm just gonna have to accept that. If I'm too tired, I'm just gonna have to have that first week of just figuring it out, I think, and just not beat myself up about it. If I have to miss some meals or eat from the canteen or whatever, I'm just gonna have to just not let it bother me, I think.
And that's it. And it's just doing the best that you could do. And again, just baby stepping to go, right, okay, the first week went like this. How can I improve on that? My second week went like this. How can I improve on that? But most of the women in it, well, all of the women in it, like everybody's a career woman. Everybody works a minimum of 9 to 5. And every single woman in here gets to the gym. So that's just the power of your mind going, I just need to be organized, disciplined, routine. And like we saw you in there this morning. What was it? 7?
7 o'clock.
You can do that. Do you know what I mean? If you start work at 9, you might have to go in half an hour earlier, but that's it. That's really it.
1 minute. Yeah. Sorry, kids are just wanting everything. Sorry.
No, you're all good. Right.
But yeah, again, it's just working around it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Does anybody else have any other questions? I'm going to mute you again, Vic. Sorry.
Okay.
So Ree, Tina, Elle, Siobhan, Jess, Joanna. I know you hate being called that. Like Shazla. Anybody else? You don't have to have any questions, by the way. It's just you've got your opportunity. It's live and kicking. Oh, we've got Elle, right. It asks me to unmute you. I don't really know what that means, but fire away.
I'm new to Zoom and I was very late trying to set this up. It was crazy. So I was, do you know, with the re-eat, I forgot what your exact
Refeed,
word.
yeah.
Right. I struggle to like get up there anyway. So when you're like refeed, how the hell am I going to do that?
It's usually like going out for dinner or
Oh, right,
having a
okay.
takeaway. It's usually like the things and stuff that you've probably cut out or at least reduced by coming into this process. Like
Yeah.
if you went to McDonald's or you went out for a Chinese or you went out, like I was telling the client on the phone that I was speaking to earlier, because she went out for dinner on Saturday and she was like, I don't know how to track the calories. The reality is you can't, unless certain places you can track them, like Weatherspoons is a great example. I'm not suggesting you go there, but you can track there. But we went to Miller and Carter's and she went, ooh, on the phone. I was like, no, I'm referring to about 2 years ago. Don't get excited. But we had and Thomas and I were refeeding at that point. We were in a really heavy cut, I think, prior to going to Mexico, I think it was. So we went on a refeed. We dropped down the calories, obviously in a deficit anyway, dropped them even further to allow for what we were going to have. But even I got a bit of a fucking shock at the menu. I'm sure it was over 5,000 or 6,000 calories for a starter, a main, and a dessert. And I was like, oh, I didn't allow for that. So
What a dream.
it's this is it, and you eat the food and you think, where is the 6,000 calories? Like where was the rest of it? So it's like it can be really, really easily done, really. But I would say that where you want it, like you might want a chippy, you might want, it's where you want a treat. Like you, and you might not know exactly the calories you're having if you go with it that way, but you know you're going to be eating more than what you would normally consume. That's kind of the point.
Right, okay.
Does
Not
that
me taking scales to a Turkish restaurant to measure my lamb or anything.
oh, I love that.
I was
No.
like, lamb's really fatty and I love lamb, so okay, we're gonna have a mixed platter, and I weighed it and then I put it back in my bag.
Oh my God. Yeah, that level of commitment, that's next level. But on the other end of the scales, literally, you are seeing sick results. Do you know what I mean? So that I don't think anyone needs to go to that level of dedication, but the fact you are and your results are there, like it's in twofold, isn't it? It's showing for itself. So, but yeah, that's crazy.
My mum was like, what are you bringing that for, you idiot? I
Yeah.
was like, lamb's fatty.
Right. Does anybody else have any other questions while you've got me? Thumbs up if you're all good. Can't see you, Tina or Reese, so I'm just going to go out on a limb and assume you're good. Right. Amazing. Well, it was wonderful catching up to you. Tomorrow is my Wednesday morning stalky stalks. If I'm concerned about anything, you will be hearing from me. If I'm not seeing things that I think I should be seeing, you will be hearing from me. If you don't hear from me, it's probably because I'm quite happy with everything that I'm seeing. But if I'm seeing missed days, no workouts done yet, like all of these things, and just have a little stalky stalk and just triple check that I am happy with everybody's progress. So, oh, Vic's got another question.
Just more of a statement.
Oh.
Haven't logged my workouts this week, but I have done them. I haven't logged them, I'm sorry.
I mean, I was with you on one of them, hon.
I know, yeah, so
Two.
don't
One.
tell me.
And
No,
she
I
was
know.
there, and you
Yeah.
were definitely there today, so you must have done something.
Yeah. I saw
yeah,
it with
I've
my
just-
eyeballs in the gym.
I've just forgot to log them, but I have done them, so don't tell me off for that.
I know you've done that, but I might
I'm just
tell you
gonna.
off for
I'll
not
just mute you tomorrow. I'll
Yeah.
delete you from WhatsApp or something.
No, I'm sure you're all good. And I mean, the results are speaking volumes. I'm seeing you all share everything in the community, and yeah, keep doing that. So, two things: SMART goals. Any blockers that are in your way, make a note of them. I want you to send me your SMART goals on a sheet of paper as a photo so I can see them. Second thing is you just take a moment to visualize where you want to get to. Like genuinely, just take a beat and just sit and think about it, and then
I was gonna say there's a good I can't say it, visualization. Like I'll send it in the link if I can find it. Like a good recording.
oh, awesome.
About visualizing. I can't say it.
Sharon does this for a living, by the way. Not
Well,
visualizing,
yeah.
but it's in her
Smart goals in my life, and yeah, but yeah, visual. Oh God, I'm gonna say it.
visualization.
a good job I don't do visualization for a living, but there's a good good recording that I'll find and send.
Yeah,
I
no,
listened
that'd be
to the
amazing.
podcast the other day as well, so I'll send that in the group as well.
Fabulous. Sharon's been with us a while. She's a shining star. Right, peace out all. Mwah. I'm gonna love you and
Yeah.
leave you. Have a lovely lovely, wonderful rest of the evening.
See you later.
Bye bye.